In commenting on this week's Parsha, one's attention is immediately drawn to the dramatic events that take place at the beginning of the Parsha. I would argue, however, that despite the drama that we see at the splitting of the Red Sea, the more important event, in terms of long-term effects on Jewish history, takes place at the end of our weekly Torah portion. The events leading up to the splitting of the sea, consisting of the dialogue between God, Moshe, and the children of Israel, as well as the spectacle of the actual splitting of the sea and the destruction of the Egyptian army, would make for a great scene for a movie, but when the event ended, it was over. We recall it in our Tifilot and we speak about it at the Seder, but it generally is done as a way of praising God and showing His power as demonstrated in the course of human history. At the end of the Parsha, we have our first battle with Amalek, an incident that I believe has a far greater impact on the fate of our people, and for that reason I choose to speak about it this morning. We are told that Amalek came and battled against Israel in Rephidim. The result of the battle was, as the Torah puts it, Joshua weakened Amalek and its people with the sword's blade. This is truly remarkable. In that first battle with our eternal enemy, we weakened them but did not defeat them. Why did we not utterly destroy them? God had acted on our behalf and humbled the greatest nation and military power on earth, mighty Egypt, and here a tribe of nomads attacks us, and we only weaken them. What happened? I believe that the answer lies in Moshe's response to the attack. Moshe didn't realize that the splitting of the Red Sea was a turning point in Jewish history. After that event, the Jewish people would become increasingly responsible for their destiny and less dependent on divine intervention. Moshe himself had said before the splitting of the sea that as the Jews saw Egypt on the fateful day, they would no longer see them again in the future. The splitting of the Red Sea marked the end of an era. Future confrontations with enemies would require decisive actions on the part of the Jews. So, when confronted by Amalek, God did not send down plagues or work other kinds of miracles, but rather the Jews had to fight for themselves for the very first time. Given that situation, I believe Moshe made some critical miscalculations. Firstly, when Amalek attacked, Moshe did not handle the situation himself, but rather delegated it to Joshua. Secondly, he did not declare a total mobilization, but rather told to choose men for us. Furthermore, Moshe instructed Joshua to wait till tomorrow before confronting the threat. From this, we perhaps can see why we only succeeded in weakening Amalek and not destroying them. Moshe delegated the response, he used limited resources in reacting to the threat, and failed to recognize the urgency of the situation and therefore waited. The lessons are profound. In life, when we are faced with any serious threat, existential or otherwise, we must not delegate but take action ourselves. We must throw all of our resources into our efforts, and we must act with alacrity and not procrastinate. Had Moshe acted differently, the outcome of the battle might have been different, and by extension, Jewish history would have been changed forever. In life, we must make sure that when confronted by threats or challenges, that we do not weaken them, so to speak, but actually eliminate them.